And yeah, that's how I made my Switch a toaster. It was kind of weird, but it works.
That's the best story I've ever heard, Chris. I'm glad we recorded it for the internet to
Does
hear.
that taste better?
Yeah, I figure people might want to know how to get a portable toaster, so I just figured I'd share that one for everyone.
And I'm surprised it works so well in the bathtub.
It's the only place it works.
If you guys want to find out how he got it, subscribe to their YouTube channel and Patreon.
Yeah, I got all the directions on the Patreon post. It's from like 5 years ago. You'll find it. Before we do this, which was the thing.
Oh man, it's Rudy.
I'm just hanging out with Rudy here. How y'all doing?
She's just swinging back and forth. They're laid back. They're chill. I bet Big the cat would fit right in.
Oh,
That
man.
basket doesn't have anything in it.
Nope.
I love, as you go through the game, people from different regions visit the other areas. I think that's so fun. I sincerely enjoy that quite a bit.
There are some neat people. Oh.
I'm sure most people skipped right past all these fucking people, but man, I get so much out of it.
Well, see, it's one of those things because, like, these people seem more fully realized. They have designs. They say a lot more. But if you were to ask me what they do, I'd be like, And yet the Sonic Adventure ones, I can be like, oh man, what about that guy who's like dating two women at once? And then there's that woman who like abandons her child outside the casino while she gambles away her life savings. Oh man,
They're much more relatable. I mean, we've all done that.
Yeah, I think that happened downtown last week.
I can't relate to.
There's some
stuff.
stuff though. Like I could be like, oh well, this guy. I mean, he sends you to find fucking ghosts. There's no ghosts in Sonic Adventure. But I do understand your point.
I have a very hard time relating to anyone who would have an empty basket on their head.
Few screws losing their brain.
Oh, the level started. Nope. So gentle.
I always think the level is here because I'm always like, oh, these rings lead you there. Of course, that's where the stage is. But nope.
Nice find. So what? Okay, because right, I don't know if it's revealed who Chip is yet. Spoilers, but like the
Not
thing
yet.
that he is at the moment, what is he supposed to be?
A flying chihuahua.
Is that?
Navi.
Oh, does he have like a species attributed to him, or is he just hey, it's Chip?
It's a dog thing.
Animal of the day.
Chip the dog thing. I like it.
Let me see if the Sonic Retro Wiki can answer that question for you, David.
With Sonic the Hedgehog and Chip the dog thing, the fun will never end. It's Sonic Unleashed.
Species. Demigod. Gender.
Species demigod.
Likes.
Thank you, Sonic Retro Wiki. Jesus Christ.
That's a
Your
subcategory,
voice.
by the way. Likes chocolate and good food, 1 citation. Dislikes hunger, 1 citation, and scary things.
Oh, there's actually citations in there now. That's interesting.
Goddamn right.
It's about
People better than us have been putting in work to the site.
They've been adding citations. I've been meaning to go through and add citations to the pages I wrote 10 years ago.
With what time, Dave? You spent the last fucking 17 years writing a Big the Cat video game. When do you have time to fucking go into Sonic Retro Wiki?
I guess when I'm done writing the Big the Cat game.
So never. Gotcha.
We'll be back in 4 years.
Look, it's gonna come out, I swear. Look, it's spoilers. It's over 520 pages.
Longer than the Bible.
Wait a minute.
Well, it's more important than the Bible.
Yeah, I can relate to Big more than I can relate to...
The Brobel.
Guys, I thought I was about to hit restart in the menu, and I was like, why did I leave that in?
Oh,
And then I was like, wait, why did I leave that in anyway?
well, there you go.
This stage, to me, is the biggest offender of the... no one ever talks about the music thing in the Werehog, weirdly enough. No one ever talks about that battle music. To me, this is the biggest fucking offender, because I goddamn
Fuck
love
you,
this track. I think this is probably the best night track, and I think it's so cool. And every time I start getting into it and going like, yeah, man, that fucking music kicks in.
Alright, so Sega are gonna not remake, but they're gonna they're gonna re-release this game on like Steam.
Mm-hmm.
What are five minor things? Like, so obviously you can't be like new level design, but what are 5 things you would change about Unleashed to improve it? Chris.
I think we talked about this before we had our current guest. I'm trying to remember what I would have said back then, but I'm probably going to say the answers they're going to say. First off, playable Amy Rose. Second, no.
I said small things, Christopher. You're making a mockery of this OP.
She's shorter than Sonic. Obviously, the music thing would be a big one, like toggle on or off, if the music changes for Werehog. Here's a very minor one. I'd like the DLC to be included for free, because I could see current Sega saying, hey, give us $5 for all the DLC. That's a deal, right? And I just like it included. That's the thing. It's like it's small things. It's like everything I'm thinking is big, I'm like,
Well, I would, in the vein of Lost World, I would remove the medal hunting.
oh, yeah. See, to me that...
Because Lost World removed for the Steam version, they got rid of the flicky count needed to unlock new levels.
Okay, we'll count that. That's right. I completely forgot about that, actually. I bought that Steam port and went, this is better, and then never finished it. Because it's Lost World.
I think I have that Steam port because I did a Humble Bundle, and it's weird. Like the little icon it gives you it's like the worst person at
the UI,
Photoshop.
Yeah, the UI scaled terribly.
Well, no, I mean just the display icon. If you have like a quick link to it on your desktop,
yeah,
because it looks like somebody very badly tried to like paintbrush out the background, and there are literal just pixels like around Sonic spikes that someone did a bad job of getting rid of. It looks fucking terrible.
I'm gonna open that up to David and Adrian about the changes because I'm already out.
Yeah.
Like, would saying including Night of the Werehog be worth it? Like, everything I want from a change, I may as well just ask for like a different game. I feel like.
Right. Yeah, I feel like there's only so many little changes that you could do before it.
Without
I got
to
one.
do any big overhauls.
When you do the hot dog missions, if you fail one, being able to restart from a checkpoint instead of having to redo the entire hot dog mission. Because when you're trying to do Eggman Land, if you die once, you have to redo the entire stage again.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like 75, 65, and 45-minute challenges, I think, for Eggman Land, and that gets very, very old.
Oh God, that sounds... Why?
And I'm the type of person who would do them again, so I would at least like that. Start from checkpoint.
Chris,
You don't
thing.
even
Chris
get
does hate
anything.
himself,
You don't
it's
even
true.
get anything for doing all the missions.
Just achievements.
Yeah, but if you don't really care about achievements, then
You underestimate just how little Chris has in his life.
Well, I mean, I'm struggling
Those
here.
achievements.
I'm like, well, what changes would I get? Well, this one, I guess. That's minor.
Well, okay, so I'm not sure if I get 5, but it would be remove the medal hunting gimmick, be able to toggle, battle theme going on and off every 6 fucking seconds. Including DLC is a good one. I literally fucking had one, and
Oh.
I forgot what the fuck it was gonna be.
Big cameos?
level length.
Yes, more big cameos.
Nights and Dreams Pinball? I'm going to say this here, by the way. This section I'm about to come on to after I needlessly break this barrel for 10 seconds longer than I should, and I just here on the edge. This little section here is fucking bullshit.
Oh, I got it. Make this version more like the Wii.
What?
Jesus Christ! Make
Yeah.
this version
You can't
more
change
like
the
the
camera.
Wii. Make this version more like the Wii version in the sense that Sonic starts out maxed out, and you only upgrade the Werehog. Like I also in the Wii version, like you have all of your abilities like the stomp and the wall climb from the get go.
That's a
You
good
don't
one.
learn that shit. Like I don't like. I don't like it when. I mean, obviously, Secret Rings is still the worst offender in this regard. But I don't like it when you Sonic starts out gimped compared to how he's gonna get at the end. Like I want a Sonic who can do all of his stompies and all of his jumpies and all that shit from level 1. I don't want to with the Werehog. I get it because the type of gameplay this is. I get why you level up this character. I don't want to level up, especially for things like speed. I fucking hate that shit. Don't do that.
At absolute least, if they couldn't do that, a new game plus that lets you start with all that stuff would be nice. But I'd rather have it your way. I don't know if this will be a minor one. Would say including the Wii version be a minor thing?
When you say including it, do you mean I just have it be its own separate thing, or try and incorporate it?
Like its own separate thing. Like you buy Sonic Unleashed and you get your option of downloading either one.
I guess I wouldn't mind. I'm not sure how much they could do in terms of upscaling, but yeah, I would like the Wii version. Because the Wii version was formatted for like classic controller, GameCube controllers. So it's programmed for like a regular controller.
Yeah, more accurately, I guess I should say the PS2 version, but
Yeah.
Well, no, because the Wii, I think the Wii version was still slightly superior. But like motion controls aside, I guess the Wii version was superior to the PS2 version.
PS2 and Wii are very, very similar. It's just we had like less loading times than the PS2. The PS2 one was atrocious in terms of loading.
I want to say it was better. I don't have much to back this up, but just from what I remember reading at one point, I want to say the Wii version also looks a lot better than the PS2 version.
I believe you.
I believe it.
Maybe. Oh no! So Chris, the ultimate thing is of course the mobile version.
Oh right,
That
yeah.
should be brought
Oh,
back.
man.
Sonic Unleashed collection.
God.
Dude, yes, fucking, you could. There's 3 games. You could do it. People have released collections for less. You could totally do a Sonic Unleashed collection with those 3 games.
I mean, Nintendo would charge you $60 for Donkey Kong again with Funky Mode, so frankly, all 3 Sonic Unleashed, that's a pretty good deal.
That's worth $60.
$100, good deal.
100? I would pay $200.
I'll even outbid you. I'd pay $201.
Whoa! Too rich for my blood. Type A, B.
It's good to know. What's your social security again? Just wondering.
My social security number is ZYXWVU
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Fair.
Well, then I'll have a number 9, a number 9 with cheese, a Royale
Wait,
with
2 number 9s, just one with
Wait,
cheese?
so 2 number 9s, 1 with cheese, 1 without cheese?
Yes.
Alright,
David,
would you like anything
stop.
else?
And the number 9 is just chicken nuggets.
I was going to say, David, can you tell me what number 9 is from memory on the Wendy's menu?
Well,
Your
it's a
local
really
Wendy's, I
long
guess.
track on the Beatles' White Album. It's experimental, but,
Fuck you, David. Okay, so serious question. Unleashed comes out. Like, obviously, the plot would have to be reworked. It's just the daytime stages. Do you think then, if you eliminated the Werehog and it's just a daytime stage, and say it releases for not $60, do you think then that would have been the game to get like 90% scores from everywhere?
I would think so.
At least 80s.
Right. I guess it depends if at the time game reviewers would be like, "Oh, this is too short. Why would you do this? Goodbye."
I'd see people focusing in more on the faults of the daytime gameplay too, because then you'd probably see more people being like, "Well, you have to memorize too much shit, and the game punishes you too much for not reacting."
It's
You know,
too
all the
bright.
time event
I
shit.
need to be in the dark.
It's,
But at the same
it's
time,
too bright.
at the same time, the game before this was Sonic 06, so I mean, like,
Yeah.
with a great game,
It
even
would-
if the game wasn't fully perfect, just be people like, oh man, this is a great Sonic game, probably inflate their
Yeah.
scores a bit because of
I
that
would-
satisfactory
I-
feeling.
I think so.
I would love it though if reviews were like, the game's so short. If only there was like an extra character in like maybe like a classic beat 'em up version
Why didn't they put
of
Knuckles
the
in
Sonic
this?
character. Yeah, you know.
Right. I think
Sonic in
Yeah.
Streets of Rage 4.
I've definitely seen
Oh, that's a
the
good idea.
Knuckles suggestion more than one occasion. This could be called Sonic and Knuckles 2.
Yes, yes. I mean, I think obviously again rework the plot, but if the Werehog was Knuckles, I think maybe not professional critics, but fans definitely would be more open to this game if this was Knuckles, not Werehog.
Yeah, it's just so like instead of Sonic, so Sonic doesn't turn into the Werehog. Knuckles is just angry all the time when it's dark, and you find out it's because he's dyslexic.
What?
Well, yeah, that's the journey, and then at the end, you know, he realizes that there are things that he can do about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Just took a dark turn. I wasn't prepared for that.
well, I'm not saying like, oh man, he's just like the fact that he learns how that you can live with it. That's important. It's not meant to be like, haha, dyslexia. It's a thing. Listen.
Chris, please say something.
Why must you make fun of my
Sorry.
Please change the subject.
That's literally the one moment I put my headset down for a reason, and I got back, and everyone's upset with David. And I'm like, "Yeah, I get it." I don't even know what happened, but like, yeah, it makes sense.
David,
okay.
talk like Mickey quick.
Oh boy.
So really, if you think about it, this game is truly the successor to Sonic Adventure 3, because this has the Lost World 3 brick puzzle that you have to step on.
Oh.
It's one of the many, many minor details they picked up from Sonic Adventure 1 when this was originally Sonic Adventure 3. It makes a lot of sense if you think about it.
World adventure.
They stole the key concept from Mario
So
64.
So internally, I mean, obviously, from a gameplay perspective, we probably had this conversation. This LP is going to be very annoying to watch, like when it comes out, because people say, "You guys fucking said this 2 parts ago," but for us, that was like 7 months ago. But like, do you think which one internally do you think Sega was closest to actually calling SA3, this or 06?
I'd see this.
I mean, obviously, like in the Japanese Sonic World Adventure has the word in the title. But, I mean, obviously, obviously, Jesus Christ, Chris. I mean, obviously, 06 from a gameplay perspective, you know, it's just SA1, but far worse. But which one do you think internally they were the closest to putting the trigger to actually say calling it SA3?
I think internally it was this one, though, because they seemed very intent on that Sonic 06 thing, because there was Shadow, and they said they wanted to do a silver game. So, like, it just depends how granular you want to be with that question. But I think internally it was always... I'm sure they started 06 being like, this is SA3, but I think this is the one they may have held on to that more for longer during development, even if it isn't as necessarily accurate.
Do you know how early before the game came out the title was officially Sonic the Hedgehog for 06? Because part of me always kind of thought like that 06 was just going to be Sonic Adventure 3, but then Sega knew how bad it was, and Sega did not want to ruin the legacy of Adventure by calling 06. So that's what I was like, let's just ruin the legacy of our first game instead. That makes more sense.
Oh.
Well, 06 was originally meant to be a reboot, wasn't it?
That's what they've said, but like story wise doesn't add up, and gameplay wise it's just SA1 but worse. So like I never really bought that.
Yeah. It doesn't
Wow,
make a whole lot of
frame
sense.
rate.
Do we want to trust Wikipedia?
I don't know what.
Everyone else does, why not?
Sometimes Wikipedia is trustworthy. Let's see what it says.
Citation.
Development began in 2004, led by Sonic co-creator Yuji Naka. Sonic Team sought to create an appealing game in the vein of superhero films like Batman Begins, hoping to advance the series with realistic tone and multiple gameplay styles.
Wait a minute.
So really, this was called
Wait,
Sonic Begins.
Batman Begins came out in 2005.
That is true.
Look, Wikipedia's right, sorry.
Oh, I forgot. Batman Begins was released in Japan a year earlier.
Yeah, it was made earlier in Japan.
Japan loves Batman. That's why
Well,
they say,
because
come on
the-
and slam.
And welcome,
I'm
dude.
Batman.
I'm gonna see that sign in a week, and I can't fucking wait. It's although obviously this scene, I'm sure Chris, I'm sure you feel this way. Massive Incredibles flashbacks with this.
Oh yeah. Every time I watch The Incredibles, I'm like, why couldn't Sonic Unleashed run this smoothly during this part? It's set in the
I
same
know,
area.
right? Why couldn't Sonic Unleashed run at a perfect 24 frames a second?
Oh.
Delicious. Well, it's more
24
cinematic, you see.
frames.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just in really deep on the Wikipedia page for Sonic 06.
Oh, right.
development.
Yeah, who's you didn't does it explain it? You were reading it. Or was that it?
I'm getting there. I'm just
Okay.
having to look at Incredibles on our YouTube video at the same time.
Okay.
I was just reading this and remembering that they made an Astro Boy game for the PS2, and then I'm remembering, oh right, I bought that Astro Boy game because Sonic Team made it.
Was that based on the movie, the CG movie?
I'm not going to click through to that page, so let's say yes.
Oh,
Because I think time-wise that checks out.
The Wikipedia page just keeps going back and forth in time, and that's why I'm stuck.
oh.
Naka noted the success of superhero films such as Spider-Man 2, 2004, and Batman Begins, which reached an audience far beyond the fans of the comics those films were based on, and wanted to mimic the success. So I'd say due to that, this was probably always going to be Sonic the Hedgehog, because calling it Sonic Adventure 3 and wanting to reach a wider audience wouldn't have been conducive.
Okay.
Huh.
Sonic Begins.
Really glad I solved that mystery for
Oh,
everyone
man.
on Earth.
If it was called Sonic Begins, that would be a different title.
I'm trying to imagine
What's another word for begins?
Origins.
Sonic Genesis.
Oh.
Sonic, was it Sonic Origins, the advent of chaos? Was that like
I was trying to remember
4chan?
that.
Yeah, that like 4chan game was gonna take place. It was gonna reveal time travel and the history of the Chaos Emeralds.
I really hate that I still remember that, but yes.
I know, right?
It also reminds me of Sonic Village, which means we need to get Memeheimer on the phone and ask what the hell, because he made Sonic Village.
That is right.
Y'all remember?
Wasn't that an app game?
It was like some Facebook ad that leaked through, and everyone was like, "Oh man, Sonic Village."
Right, but it was never... I don't think they actually made it. It was a concept, and they used that as a template, I think, to pitch and be like, hey, look, we can make Sonic Village. And Sega never approved it, so it never happened, yet it still went out.
Yeah,
Because
it's funny though, because like
Sega's a very competent company.
nowadays those leaks are accurate though, because we had the Sonic Racing and the new Choo Choo Rocket leak through that exact same thing. Then it turned out those were true.
Oh.
So maybe Sonic Village was always real.
Well, you know, sometimes those leaks are real, but a lot of times they're complete fucking trash.
So Sonic Village is the 30th anniversary game?
Well,
You heard it here
it's like
first.
well, it's like TSSZ was doing these like this day in our news, and I guess like around around this rough time, I guess there was a leaked conversation about some kind of PS3 exclusive like comprehensive Sonic compilation.
Oh right.
Of like literally every single game on disc.
From the Sony leaks. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, you know, I'm sure it didn't include Unleashed 06, but could you imagine everything from Sonic 1 to like Shadow on one disc? That'd be a pretty sweet. And you know what? I've said it before, but it annoys me how the Sun and Moon medals don't rotate on the same axis. They're different, and I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
God.
Fucking why would you do that? But yeah, could you like? I mean, Sega used to do good compilations before they just started rehashing the exact same Mega Drive collection every console.
I'm still
Like Sonic Jam. Sonic Jam was a good collection. Mega Collection, not as good as Jam, but it had more games in it. But like, give us a fucking compilation of all the Whitehead remasters. Come on, Sega.
the Xbox One kind of made this a weird thing to talk about, I guess. But I'm really surprised there hasn't been like a modern gen Sonic compilation of some kind. Because like you can't really play most of the Sonic games on PS4 right now, which is a little weird. Because usually, it's like you said, Sega's usually pretty good about making sure that's available every time you sneeze.
Well, so yeah, but like, I mean, I would.
I don't know if it,
And it's like, especially after the Genesis Mini just came out, we don't have to have fucking, kind of like with Green Hill, we don't have to have another Genesis compilation for like fucking 10 years now. Like, everyone has access to all those games in like any way you want. Give us, you know, fucking give the Advance trilogy some love, you know.
So you're saying you want a widescreen Altered Beast?
Yes, 60 frames. Taxman, please. His next game, Altered Beast, one of the worst games ever made, but for some reason everyone likes it because it's fucking vintage, but it's just a trash game.
What about the Ooze? Do you want
You're the Ooze.
Oh.
I don't. You know what, David? I don't care about the Ooze. I only care about its secret.
Oh. What is...
Amy!
Amy!
Wait!
Oh man, she's such a pain.
How about you? How about you? How about you, Adrian? What would you like to see some type of compilation for the Sonic games, or do you not give a fuck?
Well, we already have more than enough classic compilations and such. I mean, like, it would be nice to get a compilation from, like, Sonic 1 to, like you said, probably maybe, like, Shadow or something like that on one disc. That'd be pretty sweet. For every single game, including, like, the GBA or whatnot. I think that would be great, but like a Sonic 3D compilation by itself, I'm not sure if that would sell well. I mean, well, of course, it's Sonic.
you want
Nerds
it,
are going
though?
to freaking buy it anyways, but I'm talking, like, review-wise, I mean, I don't think there are enough... there are enough good, like, 3D Sonic games to probably... what the fuck?
Chris? This is like Chris, like, drunk at 2 in the morning, and it's in this footage. She's like, oh, I'm gonna zoom in here and play this sad
That's his
song.
creative
It's gonna be a
juices
good
flowing.
game. What the fuck?
Buddy.
Chris? What the fuck?
Classic shoes.
Scared? It's just another old temple. Doesn't look like there's anyone around either.
We're all just enthralled by the story.
Well, look, I'm just waiting for what stupid edit you're gonna do next.
Hey, trust me, it's really bad. I'm not even proud of it.
Oh, Sonic.
He's so concerned about this little demigod.
Right.
I keep expecting you to put a fart sound effect whenever someone moves. Like, I don't know why. I just keep thinking you're gonna do that.
That'd be pretty good, actually.
You did that in Forces a few times.
Yeah, those are good times. I like how more progressively nonchalant they get about sticking the emerald in the temples. It's just like, all right, whatever.
Fucking nerds.
Raise the
But see,
temple.
this is the thing. Before you find out who he is, they never say out loud. Isn't it weird how you have this fucking gem that makes the Chaos Emerald altars erect?
That you just
like-
do without any
Exactly.
prompting.
It's like, do we maybe want to address that? Nope, let's have a cutscene about chocolate. Okay.
Let's feed a big phoenix chocolate. Birds love chocolate. Oh no!
Wow.
Sonic, jump in! Oh,
What? Oh no!
Oh, fuck you, Chris.
Oh no!
Fuck you.
Ah.
Jesus Christ.
This is the shit I subscribed for.
Wait, is this like the? Wait, what?
Is this the fucking kids pop version?
Yeah.
it's either that or the knockoff Kid Spot version.
Oh,
Oh my god, Chris, you're fucking fired. What is this?
is Kids Bop
Oh my
Child
God.
Bounce?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Or you should have played the.
I am a new man.
I've seen it. I've seen everything.
I've seen everything.
Your boy requires.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Oh my!
Oh my god, Chris.
One more to go, everybody! I wish there was only one more part to go.
Jesus fucking- It's not even the end of the part. It's the fucking next 4 minutes left.
Oh.
Your boy needs some Gucci. What the fuck?
Holy shit!
Oh, these next 3 minutes are gonna.
You know
be...
what? I always like this shot. I
It's
always
very good.
kind of just him looking at sunset.
I'm not going to say Sonic Unleashed has a competently written story or well-directed cutscenes or whatever, but I think for me, this is the one scene where it all just kind of works. And I'm like, right, these guys are supposed to be friends. They do care about each other. But man, you got to wait the whole game to get here.
Well, that's the thing. I think Unleashed compared to, 06 and Shadow and Heroes, I think there's a decent.
Well, I mean, if you
It's not
compare it
exact-
to those games, anything looks good.
Yeah. Well, it was like, I think it has a relatively simple story. We have to go and repair the Chaos Emerald, so it takes us around the world. I think, again, I'm pretty sure I said this in the past as well, but I think this is the one game where I was kind of expecting something about the Chaos Emeralds, for us to maybe, not like a flat, like this is their whole history, but maybe just like something about them, because it's like
That's fair.
SA1, it's like SA1 gives us a little bit, about the Emeralds, like a little bit more than we knew before. But like the fact that more so than any other game, this plot is the most affected by the Chaos Emeralds, and we don't like they could be anything, you know, like it's just 6 MacGuffins. That's all they are.
Even at night when I'm like this.
Oh yes, well 6 if you go by Sonic 1 logic. This is what I'm
But
going
didn't
by.
Eggman have the 7 Chaos Emerald in that one?
This is a direct sequel to Sonic 1.
It is.
God.
So it's Sonic 1, Sonic Unleashed, then Sonic 2?
This is in the when the old Archie Volume 2 adapted Sonic Unleashed. This is the one major change they made, where it starts off where Sonic is affected by the Dark Gaia and does turn like feral. But then which from a comic book standpoint, you know, that makes a bit more sense having that in the comic book versus having it in the game. But yeah, I like it. David, how about you? What do you think? Do you think the difference in that works? Like, do you think the game and the comic makes sense of what they did in each version?
Yeah, I'd say it makes sense. Right, because if it wasn't the game, then it's like, oh, how would you play as him? It doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, it makes it more important that, oh man, Sonic figured it out and he mastered it. Now he can be the Werehog and he's not going to want to punch everyone in the face. The Where is he off to?
He's off to get that cooch.
Oh, you're right. He's very uncomfortable. He's like, now that I know who
Your
I
boy
am,
requires some Gucci.
I can't let him know I'm a sexually deprived deviant.
Demigod.
I can't let him see all of
I've been in this planet for a million
You know,
years.
it's
Whoa.
in so many ways visually, this game just outclasses forces. I mean, just like the subtle. Fucking hell, Chris. Just the subtle kind of facial acting on both of them just puts everything in forces to shame.
Well, there is that bit
Yeah.
where Sonic asks about where his power comes from. That was good.
Shut up, David.
Shut up, David.
Heck.